Hey, Internet. I'm Chaz.
And I'm Dan. Welcome to Wine and Serious Business, episode 337. We're here today with David Paris, making good on the show we've been talking about for years. Are these bottles of Barolo today?
No.
What do we have?
Barbera. Do you want to say how we came to this?
Yeah, so
Tell the story.
We'll wind back. I had a trip to Piedmont a while ago. Had a great time, and really enjoyed a few Barberas. And Barbera's a lot more approachably priced than popular wines of Piedmont. David's a big Barolo fan. Has been for what? 10 years? Have you been in Barolo for 10 years? 6, 7?
Yeah, maybe so.
Get in there.
It's like all David talks about, though.
He
loves Barolo.
He loves Barolo. But all these guys, so I mentioned to him one time, you go on all these tastings, you're getting to try all these wines, you're buying these $150, $200 bottles of Barolo. I'm sure some of the best vintners in the world, right? You can make that argument. Most famous. I'm sure their entry-level wines, some of these Barberas, are also fantastic. Let's drink them together sometime. He's been putting these together. It's like, yeah, I got the Barbera. We should drink it. Hey, I got some Barbera. Let's drink it. We're like, yeah, we should do that someday. We'll do it. Today's the day.
Right, today's the day.
What year are these? You've had these for a while now,
Yeah,
too, right? It's not
2012.
Yeah.
Would this be current vintage, or would, like,
No.
14s be current vintage?
Yeah, 14s.
Okay.
Is this a rinse?
It's a rinse.
Yeah.
We were drinking
I think-
before the show. I haven't.
It's good. Gotta get
You
down
told
on
me
Friday.
that you had some Yeti Barbera that you really liked, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you had
Made
a
a real
visit there,
impression.
right?
Yep, had a visit there. It was great. Recommend it to anybody. If you get the chance, at least send them an email, see if you can get in. It's a great time. They make a range of Barbera. Yeah.
Like single vineyard sort of stuff?
Some
Like,
single
yeah.
vineyards.
I'm about to hijack the thread, but
Go ahead, do it.
Did
Yeah.
you hear that? Like big news in Piedmont, like all the Barolo producers, it's a big thing. Like
Yeah.
staying in the family, keeping it local. They won't sell outside of the area. Yeti just sold to an American.
To a Midwestern gas station king. Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But I heard the story.
It's a big deal.
Yep. But I heard a little bit of the story behind it.
Hated on hardcore.
It's going to be hard, but I think maybe the kids didn't want to take
Yeah,
over.
the kids didn't want it. So.
And he made the deal that for the rest of his life, as long as he wants to, he still runs the show and makes the wine. But
That's
when he's
awesome.
done, and it also gave him capital to get into some more vineyards that they wanted, is what I heard.
Yeah.
That he got access to some more fruit, which I've got sympathy for that position, right? Like I think that's a rough thing to do if you had kids that are chomping at the bit to carry on, 1,000 years of family tradition. But if it's like it's going to go to the highest bidder after I die anyway,
Might as well make it happen.
let's
Yeah,
benefit.
exactly.
Let's benefit.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk like, why not still sell to a local? I don't know. I'm just bitter they didn't sell to me, and I didn't have the money to deal with it.
Is that what you do? If you could have a wine estate anywhere in the world, would you a Piedmont? Is that what
I would
you'd
love
get into?
to, but,
Yeah.
but, I don't have it right now.
In your mind, have you had memorable experiences with Barbera?
Not very many, so I'm
Okay.
actually not a big Barbera fan. I don't know that much about it, but these wines both have a place for me. So we have in our glass now is Giacomo Conterno Barbera. So I've always been a fan of this one. I think it's at upper tier. Giacomo Conterno Barolos are some of the best in the world. Very traditional producer.
Any trademark style or anything that makes him stand out to if you don't know a damn thing about Piedmont, which I'm kind of in that camp. How would you talk about?
He's super uber traditional. So Giacomo Conterno was the founder. Son Giovanni Conterno and Aldo Conterno were Giacomo's sons. They split. That's why you have the Aldo Conterno label.
Yeah.
A totally different wine now. And then Giovanni's son, Roberto Conterno, is now running, and he has run the estate since the 90s. And they do very traditional everything.
Cool.
Everything there is very traditional. Aldo kind of started experimenting with modern techniques. He studied in California some, so that's kind of where the family schism happened.
Sure.
So these wines are super traditional, longer fermentations, big barrels, no small barrique for aging.
Sure. Big fan of big barrels. Yeah.
Yeah, so these are all like 45, hectoliter barrels.
Crazy.
So my wife Natasha and I made a visit to this producer, and we had this exact wine there, and we both loved it. And when we came back, we're like, we gotta get a case of this. So this is like one of the few Barberas that I actually bought in volume.
Natasha, do you remember it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
It smells like tire rubber to me.
Yeah.
Does it smell
Is
like
that a good thing?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't smell bad. It's just like the strong aroma is like fresh tires for some reason. I don't know.
Definitely dark on the nose, like darker fruits. And Barbera is known for being a little more ripe grape, right? A little more earthy than the ones that I taste around here. I'm gonna check.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Tire glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? I guess I get some of the dark fruit aroma, but man, like there's it's weird. Like
there's also like this soily graphite kind of thing.
Totally. Yeah.
There, you know.
And that I haven't had in the few American Barberas I've had. Definitely a little more soil elements. A little bit of raspberry, like a little bit of red fruit that's in the background here, I think, too.
Sure. Yeah. There's definitely a fruit component too, but yeah, that's sort of like tire rubber and maybe like soil component is the strongest thing for me. It smells.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
The acid here is really uplifting.
Yeah.
It's like a whole bunch of rises a whole bunch of flavor up from mid-palate.
But it needs it. The fruit's ripe, fruit's big, fruit's dark. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing about Barbera. Like in these areas in Piedmont, you have this killer acid that carries the wine, and you know Barbera is a high acid grape, but you don't normally get it that way if you have it in America.
Right.
New World styles aren't
totally different. Like that's like I generally don't. I don't think I have had a Barbera from North America that I've enjoyed. Another interesting thing, all the fruit here is from Francia, which is like his top tier. I mean, he used to only have that vineyard for Barolo. Now, you know, he bought Chiretta as well.
So what do you pay for a bottle of Barolo from this vineyard today, like current release?
Well, this came out at the same time as the 2010. The 2010 Cucina Francia Barolo was $180 at discount.
Yeah, so
this
interesting,
was,
right? Like,
you know, upper 30s. So expensive for a Barbera, but for the same vineyard, you know, he could be growing Nebbiolo there, and it would be Barolo.
Yeah, I mean, and for a vineyard that plenty of people could argue is the best vineyard in the world, right? If this is the style that Barolo is the style you love, that's the
Monfortino for the longest time had been made entirely from that vineyard, and you know that wine is released at $600 a bottle now.
Jeez.
Now you know it's a different plot within the vineyard that he's going to put the Barbera, of course.
Totally.
And then it can be large, and it can be spaced away from all that.
Right. They're going to be. They do prefer different climates, you know, different soil types and whatnot. But
the acidity here is really strong. As I have multiple sips, I'm really surprised by this. Like, that is one of the overwhelming characteristics on the finish. Some of that dark fruit holds through, but the riper nature of it is really only apparent on the front mid palate. I think later it's crisp.
It turns all like really almost like tart fruited towards the end of the finish, or like the finish. Yes, it starts off pretty dark.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting how darkly complected the fruit is, but at the same time, it doesn't come across as goopier.
Not at all.
You know, dark cherry.
The acid would never let that happen.
Yeah, the acid's there, and there's almost for me like the soily, leafy, like a dark leaf. You know,
a little bit of a leaf. Yeah. Not a rotten leaf. David and I have had words over wines that tasted like rotten leaves in the past, but this is
like a little bit of like herbaceousness, or
exactly.
like a little bit of like bramble or something, right?
Yeah.
Like
so on release, this wine was a lot more intense, and that was only 3 years ago.
That is also
it has mellowed actually more than I would have
imagine
thought.
this would be like on release then.
Yeah, I mean it was ripping acid on release.
And you guys were there 2 years ago and had it when it was on release, or
3 years ago.
So it would have been on release.
Yeah, so still a big wine, and you would want to drink it in that context. You're not going to swap out your Pinot Noir and put one of this in to take its place.
But this with like pizza, this would be the jam.
Yeah, actually,
pretty on its own.
Yeah, pastas or whatever could hold up against a little bit of spice.
Yeah, we're drinking this one now.
Yeah. So
tell us about this thing.
So this is Bartolo Mascarello, another probably the most staunch traditionalist in Barolo. One thing that's cool is this label is actually hand drawn by Bartolo.
That's great.
Yeah, and anyway, he used to actually make hand drawn labels and label his own wine. His Barolo with literally hand-drawn ones. This is obviously
Holy
a
smokes.
reproduction. Yeah, he would only
awesome.
obviously bottle a few of those a year, but
Yeah. What great collector's items, though, man. What treasures. for
yeah, there
people
were
like
a lot.
ours. Yeah.
So, super uber traditionalist. This is made by Maria Teresa Mascarello, which is Bartolo's daughter.
Mm.
She took over the estate, transitioned in the 90s is when she started, and now I think she's making the best Barolos there are. You know,
I love
awesome.
it. That's great.
Her
That's
wines are. She's first of all one of the only females that took over from one of the Giacomo Conterno, Giuseppe Rinaldi, and they're like some of the most traditional people in Barolo. So it's super cool to see her take this over, and she's really actually elevated the wines to a whole new level.
Awesome.
The wines used to be a little bit dirty. They're super good. They're delicious, but she's just stepped it up another level. And I've actually not had this Barbera since we were there. We had this one at our visit also, and we bought a couple bottles, but I haven't had it. And I actually didn't like it that much on release.
Okay.
So
We'll see what happens.
yeah. So
Interesting trend.
And I love this. This is turning into kind of like a Barolo trivia show by proxy, which is good. We're taking advantage of the knowledge you have. We're going to use these names in the video. I'm sure people are going to be attracted to the tags and watch it for these producers. So
Totally.
at least we're not completely devoid of information.
And we're
Yeah,
still
great knowledge
due
here,
an
yeah.
episode on Barolo.
Yeah,
right?
someday.
We're going to do like
Love
some
that, yeah.
old Barolo,
All right.
because these guys say that young Barolo is often a bit too aggressive.
So tough.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
So we should do an old Barolo tasting also, and try these guys with 30 years of age on the Barolo.
Right.
It'd be a good time. Yeah, yeah. And sell my car. Get 2 or 3 bottles would be.
Yeah, same here. Right?
Yeah.
So, I can't sell the
It
Yaris.
smells killer.
This smells really good.
It's got a lot more layers than the last one, and it's not quite as dark.
Really complex. Yeah.
It's more like red fruited as opposed to cherries. There's like raspberries and strawberries in here.
A little bit of forest floor here too. I'm going to nerd out a little
Sure.
bit. It's not like the evergreen forest floor that you get in Oregon. It's more like a deciduous forest floor.
It was almost like asphalt tar. Just a bit of that.
Sure, there's
Yeah.
like a tart. Like there's almost. It smells a bit like Barolo.
A bit. Well, I don't drink enough Barolo to know, but Barbaresco and Barolo wines that I have had in the past will have that flavor and the graphite flavor strongly.
A little bit of red floral going on there.
So
That smells wonderful.
another very interesting thing. Again, I'm going to talk about Barolo.
Do it.
That's cool about what Bartolo Mascarello Barolo does is it's a blend of all vineyard sites. The trend these days is for all single vineyard everything.
Sure.
And Bartolo Mascarello, Maria Teresa Mascarello is one of the only producers that blends all vineyards. And they only make one Barolo, and that's it.
Sure. And was that if you go back 70 years? Is that what everybody
That's what
did?
everybody.
Okay.
There was no such thing as a single vineyard Barolo until the 60s.
Sure.
So, and she's the only person, I think, that is still doing it.
So how do you feel about that? I mean, I know you're big on terroir. Is that a good move or just an interesting move?
Well,
Everybody does their own
again, I
thing.
think she makes the best wine in the whole
Sure. All
commune,
right.
so
Do you wish
Yeah.
more people did that?
I do.
Okay.
I based upon this example and based upon, you can't argue with Monprivato as a kick-ass
Yeah,
wine,
yeah,
you know?
right. I mean, yeah, single vineyard wines. There's definitely a place for that, right? Like, yeah,
of
yeah.
course. But how can you argue with what she produces with this wine? Like,
Sure.
starting with the Barolo, and I actually don't know the fruit source here. I imagine it's similar. Like, she only makes one
A
Barbera.
little bit of all of
I
it.
imagine it's
yeah.
from all the sites.
Anyway, very interesting and captivating nose, right? It's really good. It smells awesome. Tastes quite good too.
Wow. Very different. Definitely some dark fruit there, but a lot more bright and light elements
Yeah.
than the previous
Way
one.
more elegant.
Yeah. Forest floor, kind of like, earthy, leafy character again on the late palate, kind of providing some structure.
Yeah. It has more tannins than the prior
Big-
wine, for sure.
I was say big, definitely. Yeah,
the
but they're
structural
slow.
elements here.
Yeah.
They're definitely more in the forefront, but the flavor is more in the forefront. Unlike the last one, it almost like blankets the tongue.
Yeah.
And blankets the entire, my cheeks, it feels like. Tastes like red fruit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
This is cool. Great depth of raspberry, I think, is what I'm getting on multiple sips, kind of on the mid palate. Really spreads across. Everything, the tannins are sinking into the gums, making it hard to pronounce my words.
Structurally, this is still a bit tough.
But that's cool. It makes me think of the future with it too, right?
But just the intensity of flavor here is fantastic.
Yeah, I love the flavor. So I agree with you that the tannins and the structure, they're stronger.
Sure.
But is it at all off-putting? Like, would you
Depends
prefer to wait on the wine?
Depends on how fast you drink it.
Yeah, right. As we take multiple.
Yeah, we're sitting here. We're sitting here. Yeah.
This would be great with food.
Absolutely.
Like, I think it's good to go right now, but I think I bet it would last longer than the Conterno.
Yeah, and it's a little on the tannic side for what I prefer, but it works with the rest of the wine. And yeah, with food, I'd be okay. I think I'd like it more after a little bit of time. But I'm good with it now, and it's engaging, and it reminds me of my experience with Barolos, where I'm like, the tannins just kind of like build up. And it's not quite as aggressive as young Nebbiolo can be, but there's similarity.
There is similarities. This is like Barbaresco.
Is there a chance in hell that declassified Nebbiolo ended up in here?
Would it?
I don't think so. I don't know what the legality is on what percentage.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Barbera grapes would be in there.
I guess Barbera is probably.
What you're doing is you're tasting
the terroir.
Yeah,
I mean,
awesome.
You're tasting the vineyards, and I mean, I've had Pinot Noirs from Piedmont that taste more like Barolo than they do an Oregon Pinot Noir.
Oh, really?
Right?
Ah, that's cool. That's cool.
Right?
All right.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah. Something from Garage East. So as talking, like we'll be talking about a lot about Barolo. What's the price points on these wines?
So they're both in the 30s.
That's nice.
Yeah. So for Barbera, that's on the upper range of Barbera, but that's kind of the point about Barbera. Most Barbera is in the upper teens to 20s. And then you get the top producers. I think there's a couple that actually go into the 40s and 50s. It depends on.
Or like Vietti has their cuts, right? Like they got the old vines and kind of like higher
Vietti
cuts.
goes into the 50s. Actually,
Yeah. They go up, but
yeah. So and it all, I'm talking discount prices, not retail.
Sure.
But yeah. So I think in the 30s is where you can get upper 30s is where you can get both these. And
well, these are both pretty compelling wines at $30, especially this. I would say of the two, I like this one quite a bit more.
Yeah. I think, and I think that's what's attracted me to Barbera in the past is that a lot of times at tasted, I felt like they bring good value at a very approachable price point.
Right.
Yeah, and one thing that's really nice, you don't have to wait, right?
Yeah.
You take your Barbera while
they
say Piedmont, you drink your Dolcetto while your Barolo is aging, but I kind of like drinking your Barbera while your Barolo is aging.
Yeah, and price-wise, Dolcetto is even below Barbera usually, right? Like Barbera is kind of the middle of the road.
But I also don't think Dolcetto can be a serious wine.
Sure.
In my opinion. I think Barbera. I think this is a pretty serious wine for
absolutely
that point,
Absolutely. Like in the case of these, I wouldn't hesitate to age these a little longer too and see what happens to both of them, especially the second.
And at this price, I love it as an alternative to like $30 to $40 Cabernet. I think it brings a lot of similar structure to the table, but totally different flavors.
This could totally stand a steak.
Yeah, totally different flavors. And totally a unique and interesting experience.
And again, with like the acid on these things, I think they'll stand up to a whole variety of food.
Yeah,
like you could from lighter fare to heavy stuff.
Agreed. It's based on the structure and intensity.
Yeah. And I also like your comment on terroir with the flavors and tannic structure. I feel like you would blind this into northern Italy, right? If someone just here's a red wine, check it out.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know Italy that well, but it seems like there are suggestions of it.
I'm actually surprised how different they're drinking.
Yeah.
They're two very different wines.
14%, probably. Oh, the Conterno says 50.
And surprisingly, neither of them felt that.
They don't
hot.
feel that hot. Like if you were to drink a Pinot at this level, it'd be like breathing fire. But
right, dragon breath. Yeah, absolutely.
And if we drank this whole bottle, which is probably going to happen in the next 30 minutes or so, you'd feel it. As I said, you got to get down on Friday, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Only 2 bottles, but still
I
a cool
know.
show.
Nice
Thanks
short
for
show.
coming out, David.
Yeah.
Thanks for
talk.
joining us. Thanks for bringing out some cool ones.
Yeah.
hopefully within a few months we can do a Barolo tasting.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
talk
hope so.
expensive Nebbiolo in the near future.
It'll be fun.
Good times.
You
Thanks.
got any questions for the viewers?
We don't do that anymore.
We don't do that anymore? Fuck off, Dan. Would you ask any question to the viewer? You asked one last time, so I'm gonna ask.
Okay. How about when it comes to I'm gonna say Barolo. What do you like? Your traditional producers, or do you like more modern producers? Do you tend towards more the Conterno and Mascarello, or those modern guys? Is it?
Yeah. What do you like? Well, I like the more modern shit. That's it's part of the time. We'll wait for that for the Barolo show. We'll see you guys next time.